have spent a large portion of the last 36 hours wall to wall prepping you for the ice storm of 2026, and I would say that few people are rarely ever disappointed in ice storms, but unfortunately, this one has not disappointed. We have had the thunder, sleet, and snow and rainfall. Most of that snow melting to ice by the time it gets to the surface. We've had heavy icefall accumulations in excess of an inch. We've had widespread power disruptions. The only thing that honestly has gone our way is in some cases we have not had widespread travel disruptions because we're so close to the freezing point. In some cases, the roads have stayed okay, but we've had elevated surfaces coated in significant amounts of ice. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lawpon. I'm meteorologist Caleb Edelblut behind the scenes. We'll talk to. It's going to be a few minutes before we talk to him. But we are monitoring an ice storm situation that has still about 3 to 4 hours of additional ice fall on the way, and that means additional probably power outages, trees falling, all the things, and we're not done. And this in a scenario here again where we have ice storm warnings. These have been posted for days. I'm not going to say if you didn't know it was coming, it's up to you, but we've been talking about this since Monday of last week, and it's Sunday. Ice, and again, we were talking about winter weather. We weren't as specific then, but by midweek, we were honed in that this was ice. And so as you can see here, a lot of folks, most folks, still under ice storm warnings. Now, one thing we need to mention on that, notice how it says 6 p.m. on there. The reason these say 6 p.m. for some locations, in fact, most locations, is because it's not impossible to have a little bit of winter precipitation on the backside of this system. But mostly, I think mostly, it comes down to the fact that we're going to have some wind on the backside, and in ice storms, you have what falls, and then you have the consequences. And the consequences of what falls, meaning more trees coming down, more power lines coming down, that, if wind picks up a little bit on the backside, becomes an elevated risk. And this is the exact same graphic that we have shown you for pretty much since early Thursday morning. And now we're early Sunday morning. Friday morning, Saturday morning, Sunday morning. By 9 a.m., Maggie and I made this graphic, 72 hours, and unfortunately, it has been extremely accurate. This is, of course, what to expect through today. Peak impacts in the same zone where we still have icefall accumulations occurring at this point in time here. Caleb, who do we have here behind the scenes? So I can get them up as we're trying to talk to some folks here. I'm going to bring our meteorologist, Caleb Edelblut, in here for a second. As we've been trying to talk to a number of officials around North Mississippi who are trying to react to what's going on. Who do we have?
Yes, this will be Kurt Clayton calling in from Union County to give us the very latest on what's been occurring up there with that winter storm moving on through and especially affecting those up northwest, a lot heavier than those down in the southeastern portion, but still on the way, of course.
Okay. Anything else that you've seen on social for a moment while I'm getting his lower third ready here?
So far, I just had those two updates working on. East Union posted 3 minutes ago. East Union will be closed tomorrow as the safety of our students and staff is top priority. District officials are closely monitoring the weather situation and will notify of any further changes to the schedule this week. Everyone, please stay safe. So East Union also closed for tomorrow.
Okay, so Union County Emergency Manager here. We'll go ahead and bring him on for a second. Give me a moment for to kind of pop him up. Apologize, takes me run about 6 jobs here, but again, appreciate you, Kurt, for joining us here on Mississippi Live this morning. Obviously things are not great there in Union County. Can you give us an assessment as of 9 a.m.?
Yeah, Matt, as of right now, we've got just about every county road that is closed due to the power lines or trees down on them. We're probably 3/4 of our counties out of power, maybe a little more than that. Power folks is out working the best they can. Road departments are out trying to clear the debris out. It's done got so bad we're having trouble with emergency personnel getting to houses. They can't get the apparatuses in and out in the city or in the county because of low lines and power lines and trees that's already fallen.
Man, that's rough. You guys, yeah, I'm sorry. Let me pop myself back up. You guys prep and plan for this. I mean, you kind of knew this was going to be rough, um, so that's, I mean, that's hard news for people here. And I know people in Union County. I saw somebody talk about New Albany Power and light water and gas. I'm sorry, I can't remember the abbreviations on it. But patience is obviously something that people are going to have when you're talking about so many outages, right?
Yes, Matt. We're asking for the citizens just to give the road crews and our light, gas, and water folks time. They are out working. They're having to work it as a safety because trees are still falling, lines are still falling, so they're having to work in extreme dangerous condition. Had a county vehicle last night to get trapped in between trees while they was trying to clean out one of the roads. It took some damage to the vehicle. I'm not for sure exactly how much on it. But back to what you was talking about planning, we started meeting Wednesday afternoon with the city and county officials, the New Albany City Fire, New Albany City Chief, Sheriff, myself, Mayor, the Board of Aldermen was there. We had supervisors there and started planning all this of what we needed to do and how we was going to handle it.
I mean, we're talking, and I don't know, folks, this is kind of hard to wrap your brain around. The percentage of folks that are out of power in some of these counties like Union County. And one of the things we noticed early this morning is some of the websites that show outage information for these different electric power associations were probably collapsing. And I'm betting that's just because of people looking at it going, where's that? Where's that? Where's that? And so these numbers are actually, I think, a little low in some cases, but I mean, you're talking best case scenario, 62% of your county without power. Were you here in '94? I'm just going to keep asking that question of folks. And
Yeah.
what is the icing situation this time like versus last time? And how do you think? I mean, again, I prognosticate for a living. I'm not going to hold you to anything. But are we thinking days or are we thinking weeks for complete restoration?
Matt, I'm gonna say it'll probably take weeks here, and I think that's gonna be one difference between now and back in '94. The equipment is different. We have more light, gas and water people. They pulling in different crews to help now, where back then we didn't have that option. But far as the devastation that we've got, from what I've seen this morning, it's not gonna be much different than '94. I'm just hoping that we can get everything back on prior to quicker than what we did then. I mean, you look at the water associations back then didn't have generators and backup power. Now they do. So we're gonna have should keep running water. And that was a big thing back in '94. They nobody have no water. They didn't have no power. They didn't have anything.
Man, another thing with that, I feel like there's been this coordinated effort over the years to bring in folks from other places. Was that something that happened in '94? Do you remember? Like, did you end up seeing trucks from other states in here trying to put it back on, or was it just kind of the local folks at that point?
Matt, I think it was just the local folks back then. I'm not. I wouldn't want to bet on it, but I don't remember seeing it. You know, myself, I was 20-year old, I think, when that come through.
Yeah.
Uh, I had just got on
And
the
dealing with
volunteer
everything
fire
you're dealing with.
department.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had just joined the volunteer fire department, right along in that time, and we were out giving folks water out of the fire truck just so they could have it to flush their commodes and stuff in their house.
Man, and so I'm hopeful that with the disaster response that the federal government's put in and the other assets in place, I really do feel like that we should be sooner than '94. But man, I'm hoping that's the case. Certainly without power here at the house, but lucky enough, blessed enough that we have backup electricity through a number of different sources. So I'm going to count our blessings there. Just out of curiosity, you got power at your house?
I got a generator.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Most of the emergency managers we talk to have that because you understand the importance of being prepared. Anything else you want to add?
No matter, I'm just asking everybody to give our 911 folks, if they call in, just be patient with them. That we're trying to get the help that they need out there, but I mean, it's just going to take us a little while to get there.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's not an instantaneous thing, especially with so many individual outages. Again, Kirk Clayton, Union County Emergency Manager, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us this morning. Our prayers, our thoughts are with you guys as you try to, recover and hopefully for the safety of all the folks there in Union County over the next couple of days.
Thank you, Matt.
Okay. Bring it back in here again. Power outages significant and unfortunately widespread across North Mississippi due to this winter weather event. I mean, look at this. We're talking 75% of people up there in Tippah County, 89% of people in Benton County, 35% in Marshall County, 48% in Tishomingo County. Just significant power outages that do extend across the Tennessee state line as well for some folks. I'm keeping on this map here because I can also change it over to the number of power outages. And something to consider here, I have this rounds. So if you're 20,000 and 20,000, between 20 and 30,000, it rounds to 20,000. So we're looking at that number there in Lafayette County. It's actually probably a lot higher. We show 12,000 in Lee County. I know for a fact some of these numbers are wrong. And I'm going to check that one up. Some of these outage sites, though, unfortunately, are down. Looks like Tom Bigby's is back up. 8,000 just Tom Bigby customers. That's Northeast. Northeast has kind of struggled. Pontotoc. I know I have the folks up there in Prentice County. Tishomingo County is bad. Yeah, Prentice County. Yeah, no. That number is so wrong. These numbers are absolutely wrong. Look at this. These are the real numbers in Prentice County. I'll step out of the way. Instead, it's actually 7,700. I need to turn on a little more light here. Give me a second. I'm going to turn this up. But 77. Okay. It's like look at me burning this money. I want to turn my light up a little higher and get people that don't have any electricity. And I'm using the backup light there. I wasn't trying to rub that in, I promise. But yeah, I mean, you're talking about, hundreds of people, and this shows the map. It completely covers up the largest city in Prentice County. You heard the folks at Northeast saying, hey, no classes on Monday there, and we'll see what happens next week if they can even do virtual, because it's going to take a lot of time before things are recovered there. I mean, 7,700 folks there in Prentice County out of power. We're looking at Tippah Electric Power Association here. We show of their 13,000 customers served in different counties there, they have 10,000 people without power. I mean, and of course, major locations there around Walnut, Tipperville, north of Tipperville. Honestly, Faulkner there, a few, and honestly, there's probably more. It just might not be the individual customers because that one red dot there represents 500 folks there. But yeah, throughout their kind of an entire area there, a lot of power outages with this, and that just takes crews a while. And unfortunately, the heavy ice accumulations do continue. Outage map here. Let's see. This is going to be which one do we have here? Tallahatchie Electric Power. They're kind of southwest of Oxford. The thing on all these maps that it's hard for you to wrestle with, and this is what takes the time. Boy, that got choppy. And I wonder if that got choppy because my internet is choppy here. We're going to do this until we can't do this, and certainly until the precipitation is gone. But you can see there all the ones. That's each individual customers that are going to have their power on. So it's not like, hey, a main line went down. You see 551 customers right there. That's some kind of main line that went down there. That'd be Panola County, I think. Right over top of Batesville. So 500 customers in Batesville, that might be one line serving a lot of customers. It's all of these ones. That's just what's going to take forever. Not forever. It's just going to take weeks to get the power back in some of those locations there. We did Tippah County, we did Prentice County. Tishomingo County has been hit just so super hard by this. Hold on. I need to find out this location. Give me a second. Where's that at? Question mark. The North Mississippi Storm Chasers talking about a wind gust at 17, almost 18 miles per hour. That's the thing where this gets worse, is if we get those wind gusts to pick up. And unfortunately, the numbers up in Tishomingo County have continued to go up there. So, I mean, it's basically most of the county at this point here. I say that, again, most of the customers that they serve. See, that's the thing. The percentages on that map aren't fully accurate. I mean, this is the entire county, for the most part, out of power. We're talking about 12,000 customers, not people, customers in Tishomingo County out of power. And that graph there shows them the time series. Unfortunately, that number has continued to go up. I would honestly say, and I am on the side of these power cooperatives that have chosen to wait until this ends to go out and try to do something, because this could be a life or death situation. Caleb, did you end up sending that picture via email? I'm bringing our Caleb Edelblut there for a second. Yeah, you did?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yes,
I'm
they
going to
should
look
be sent
for
to
it
your
here.
email. There should be
Okay.
two of
Give
them.
me okay. Give me just a moment here
And
to
then
look.
while you have me, is there someone you would like me to get in touch with next to try to bring in?
Tishomingo County. We want to go
Tishomingo.
Tishomingo and
Okay.
then Alcorn and then Prentice. I don't think we've talked to any of those. So I'd say Tishomingo County next. We'll kind of work our way through the
Okay.
northeast part of the state there. Appreciate that, Caleb. I'm looking for your email. There it is. Okay, give me a moment. I'll pop that up. This is why I am on the side of the folks. If the power cooperatives have chosen to go ahead and wait until this goes a little farther before they go out, this is why. And I'll pop back up there. This could have been death. Period. What you're looking at